Vaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata-sevayā. Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajeshatanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Va Kalpita Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Maha Śrī Caitanya-Mahāprabhur Matamidam Tatradarana Para Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna-pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 30, entitled The Gopis Search for Kṛṣṇa. In the last few sessions, we have been meditating upon the Krishna's lotus feet, and then we were talking about how the gopis saw the feet of the footprints of Srimati Radharani as well, and then how Sri Krishna lifted her when there were some thorns and some rough pebbles and thorns. So Sri Krishna lifted her, and that's what we were meditating last when we discussed the beautiful text 28 also, which talks about that special gopi, the mention of Srimati Radharani. Anyaradhito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yam Anayadraha. So let's see what happens next from text number 32 onwards. Interestingly, this is a revived look, or there is a revived. This website has been revived. Looks like recently, which is good. And to do some settings changes so that we can. Okay, so we are on text number 32. Atra prasuna vachayah priyarthe preyasa kritah prapadakramana ete pashyata sakale pada. Translation: The disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Just see how in this place dear Krishna collected flowers for his beloved. Here he has left the impression of only the front part of his feet because he was standing on his toes to reach the flowers. Hare Krishna. So the gopis are expert in in just by meditating on the footprints of Krishna, they are able to meditate on the whole pastime. And as we can imagine, like if we are standing then we get one imprint, but if we kind of push with our toes and kind of move our heel up, or then we will have a different or a deeper imprint of our toes. That's what the gopis are seeing. Oh, at this point, Sri Krishna must be picking flowers to um, collect for his beloved. And who's that? Sri Radhika. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions that Krishna picked flowers from this branch of Ashoka tree. To pluck the flowers on the branches beyond his reach. What is beyond Krishna's reach? But sometimes he also is kind of stretching, right? He says in the Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. When devotees offer flowers to Krishna, he's very happy, but Krishna loves to offer flowers to his devotees. He's reciprocating. So, for flowers beyond his reach, Krishna raised himself on his toes. Thus, the only part of his feet, not all asakala. So, the word used here is asakala, right? Pashyata, Pashya means to see. Asakala. Sakala means, can anyone tell any verse or anything or any bhajan or anything where you see this word sakala? Anyone knows?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Sachi, thank you so much for your kind association. Hari Hari Bol.
I'm thinking
Yes,
about the
Balaji, please tell.
Sakala Samane Paradiya Koro, that bhajan. Exactly, I don't know.
Can't hear you.
The
Are you
beginning.
speaking?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yeah, I don't know, I lost you somehow.
Yeah, maybe there was bad connection on my end. Sorry.
That's okay.
Joining Mataji, please. You were saying something.
Yes, so there's a bhajan that I remember that Sakala you sang, the word Sakala. I don't know the entire that line, but it goes something like Sakala Samane Paradiya Koro. Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakur. It's in that song. Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakur.
Dayara Sagara Idase Karuna Kori Diyapada Chaya Shodahiya Maya Kumara Charana Dhuri. Thank you, Mataji. Sakati, Sakala.
Sakati.
Yeah, I think maybe that's another one. Sakala Samani.
Yeah. It's not in here.
One verse which is coming to my mind, which is very, very famous. The 5 most important limbs of bhakti. Anyone recalls that? Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Srimurtira Shraddhaya Sevana. These are the 5 most important limbs of bhakti. And then the next verse comes, Sakala Sadhana Shrishta. Sakala, in all the sadhana Shrishta, A Pancha Anga. These 5 limbs are topmost. What are the 5 limbs? A, B, C, D, E. Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees. Sadhu Sangha, Namakirtan, Vaishnav. Sadhu Sangha, Namakirtan. So Bhagavata Shravana, so books, Bhagavatam, Gita, Bhagavat, Nam Kirtan, chanting of the holy names. D is deity worship, Srimurti Seva, and also diet prasadam. And then finally is residing in the holy place. So Sakala Sadhana Shreshta E Pancha Anga. The word Sakala comes there also. And here we see the word Asakala. So Pashya Asakala. This will be able to remember this deeper. They did not see the full. Now Sakal means full or complete. Asakal means incomplete. That means they only saw the toes. When someone is raising, raised himself, Krishna raised himself on his toes, so he only saw the front part of his footprints. Because flowers generally don't appear on the lower parts of the tree. You have to like stretch, right, to get those, especially from the Ashoka tree. Here we see the Supreme Lord is picking flowers for his devotees. How much the Lord loves his devotees, how much the Lord, and the Lord is also, this is my 2 cents, the Lord tries to stretch for his devotees. Those who try to stretch for him, the Lord is stretching, right? Is it not stretching? Is it taking the extra mile? And we can prove it from different aspects of the Bhagavad Gita and many other scriptures, that those who go the extra mile for the Lord will go the extra mile for them. There is no doubt in that. What's the famous verse which proves the fact? In the Bhagavad Gita, as you approach, I'll reciprocate accordingly. If we take the extra mile, if we raise ourselves, the Lord is raising to Yathamam prapadyante tams tatheva bhajamiham. I reciprocate according to how a devotee approaches. Any thoughts in this verse where Krishna is raising to pick flowers for Radhika? Okay, so let's read the next verse, which is text number 33. Anyone would like to try to read this?
I can read further.
Yes, Mother, please.
केशप्रसाधनं त्वत्र कामिन्या कामिना कृतं तानि चूडयत कान्तामुपविष्टमिह ध्रुवम्. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Certainly, Krishna sat down here with his girlfriend to arrange her hair. The lusty boy must have made a crown for her, for that lusty girl, out of the flowers he had collected. Purport by Sri Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Acharyas explained that Sri Krishna wanted to decorate Radharani's hair with the forest flowers he had collected. Therefore, they sat down together facing the same direction, with Radharani between Krishna's knees, and Krishna proceeded to arrange her hair with flowers and make a flower crown for her, coronating her as the goddess of the forest. Thus, the romantic young boy and girl played and joked together in Vrindavan. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. This verse reminds of very, very famous temple in Braja, Sri Radha Ban Bihari in Giri Govardhan, where Krishna, in the form of a Govardhan Shila, and Sri Radhika, in the form of another Govardhan Shila, is braiding. Krishna is braiding her hair and combing and putting a flower garland or a crown. This is a very, very sweet pastime. And when we go there, It's managed by now ISKCON devotees. It's a very, very famous temple, comes on towards the last part of the parikrama. So there are multiple lessons, and I want to show you some pictures also. This is Radha Bihari. So what do you see as we read in this? Krishna is on the top, and Radhika is in the front. They are facing the same direction, right? And then Krishna has a comb. You see this comb? And Radharani has a mirror. And Krishna is combing and braiding her hair. This is the Radha Bihari temple, 250 years of history. It's a very, very beautiful temple. It's a small temple just next to Kusum Sarovar, which is very famous. And yes, these are the devotees who manage. In fact, right here, oh yes, I wanted to show you all this. I want to show you all this painting also, right here. It's on my Shraddha Bihari temple, Kusum Sarovar. So there are a lot of beautiful lessons. Manjari, you recall the lessons from this Leela which Mataji shared when we went to this temple? Yeah, you see the pictures here. I want to share some.
Hare Krishna. So, Mataji was Pujari there. She was sharing that just as Krishna is serving Sri Radhika by braiding her hair, and Radharani is holding a mirror, and she's not looking at her own self, but she's looking at Krishna. So then Mataji is explaining that similarly, we all have to serve Krishna just like Srimati Radharani served Krishna, and then Krishna is trying to serve the devotee. And at the same time, Radharani is trying to see Krishna. So in that way, we should try to clean our heart by chanting the holy names and try to see Krishna in the mirror of our hearts.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's very, very sweet pastime. Here are some paintings also of this wonderful Leela. Also we see here. So that's exactly what's happening. Radhika is seeing Krishna in the mirror, which also represents consciousness, which also represents our heart. So when we continue to render service, like following in the footsteps of the Gopis, then our heart, the mirror of our heart, Chitta Darpana Marjana, will also cleanse, and we will also able to see purely Krishna in our heart, and Krishna will be very, very pleased with our service. So this verse reminds of this beautiful Leela. Here the words lusty boy, lusty girl may be used, but we have to understand that this is a transcendental man going on, right? Sometimes between Krishna and Radharani, sometimes between the Gopis and Krishna. So this is nowhere a display of lust, like an ordinary guy, running after an ordinary girl. This is the highest of the highest emotions, and and we have discussed this topic so many times, the one who frees everyone of lust, the one, just by thinking of Krishna, the lust runs away. How can that person be affected by lust, right? So it's pure love. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions a few more details, which I'll try to read. So Krishna sat down here and was combing, right, the hairs of Sri Radhika. And he also made a crown of flowers, right? The word uses chud ayat, right? He made a crown to resemble a man. So he jokingly combed her hair into a top knot. Chudayat. So, in short, Krishna is serving Srimati Radharani, because Krishna likes to serve his devotees. Devotees like to serve Krishna. Krishna likes to serve his devotees. Devotees can do anything for Krishna. Krishna can do anything for devotees. Devotees, in Krishna's heart, devotees reside. In the heart of devotees, Krishna resides. Krishna stretches for his devotees. Devotees stretch for Krishna. Krishna is eager for his devotees. Devotees are eager for Krishna. Devotees do the best they can for Krishna. Krishna does the best he can for his devotees. Right. So, any comments, thoughts before we move on? The next text, 34. Anyone would like to read? Ishwari Radha Mataji, would you like to read? This has a longer purport as well.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Reme, how to sing this, Prabhu?
Yeah, the similar,
Okay.
the Vishtup, I think, will work.
Okay. Reme taya chatmarata atmaramo api akhandita kaminam darshayan denyam Srinam chaiva duratmantam. Translation. Sukadev Goswami continued, Lord Krishna enjoyed with that gopi, although he enjoys only within, being self-satisfied and complete in himself. Thus, by contrast, he showed the wretchedness of ordinary lusty men and hard-hearted women. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This verse directly refutes the superficial criticism materialistic people sometimes direct against Lord Krishna's pastimes. The philosopher Aristotle claimed that ordinary activities are unworthy of God, and with this idea in mind, some people declare that since the activities of Lord Krishna resemble those of ordinary human beings, he cannot be the absolute truth. But in this verse, Sukadeva Goswami emphatically points out that Lord Krishna acts on the liberated platform of spiritual self-satisfaction. This fact is indicated here by the terms Atmarata, Atmarama, and Akhandita. It is inconceivable to ordinary people that a handsome young boy and a beautiful young girl enjoying romantic conjugal affairs in the forest moonlight can be engaging in pure activity, free from egoistic desire and lust. Yet while Lord Krishna is inconceivable to ordinary persons, those who love him can easily realize the absolute, pure nature of his activities. One may argue that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. and that therefore the devotees of Krishna are only imagining the Lord's activities to be pure. This argument ignores many significant facts. For one, the path of Krishna consciousness, of developing love for Krishna, demands that a devotee strictly follow 4 regulative principles: no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no eating of meat, fish, or eggs. When one is freed from material lust and rises to the liberated platform beyond material desire, one realizes the absolute beauty of Lord Krishna. This process is not theoretical. It has been practiced and completed by many thousands of great sages who have left us their shining example and their brilliant teachings concerning the path of Krishna consciousness. Certainly, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. However, real beauty is perceived by the soul's eye and not by the lusty eye of the material body. Therefore, the Vedic literature repeatedly stresses that only those freed from material desire can see the beauty of Lord Krishna with the eye of the pure soul, anointed with love of Godhead. It may finally be noted that upon realizing the pastimes of Lord Krishna, one becomes free of all tinges of sex desire, a state of mind that can hardly result from meditating upon material sexual affairs. One final note: the conjugal pastimes of Krishna perfectly round out his qualification as the supreme absolute truth. The Vedanta states that the absolute truth is the source of everything. So certainly the absolute cannot lack any of the beautiful things of this world. It is only because romantic affairs exist in a pure spiritual form in the absolute truth, they can manifest in a perverted material form in this world. Thus, the apparent beauty of this world is not to be absolutely rejected. Rather, beauty should be accepted in its pure spiritual form. Since the beginning of time, men and women have been inspired to poetic rapture by the art of romance. Unfortunately, romance in this world usually leads to crushing disappointment, brought about by a change of heart or by death. Thus, although we may at first find romantic affairs beautiful and enjoyable, they are eventually spoiled by the onslaught of material nature. Still, it is unreasonable to totally reject the concept of romance. Rather, we should accept conjugal attraction in its absolute, perfect, pure form as it exists within God, without a tinge of material lust or selfishness. That pure conjugal attraction, the supreme beauty and pleasure of the supreme truth, is what we are reading about here in the pages of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Jai, Haribol, it's so beautiful. So much stuff in this purport.
Yes, absolutely. You want to share some thoughts, Mataji, or some
Yes,
takeaways?
yes, 1 second. Let me just turn this off. So, yeah, I really appreciate Srila Prabhupada explaining how the romance in this world, we always, it's always pervertedly reflected. We always think, oh, man and woman all getting together, the sex desire, all these things there. But when the Supreme Lord has that same romance, so-called, it's not same, it's like on the absolute platform, he's displaying that pastime so that we can get attracted because he's the most beautiful. And by hearing about him more and more, our senses become purified. And that's why Prabhupada nicely said that, just follow the 4 regulative principles. And by following the 4 regulative principles, chanting Hare Krishna for a long time, you will understand who is Krishna. And you won't have that perverted, thoughts of, when you read about Krishna's pastimes.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Mhm. I really like this point here That one may say, oh, like Krishna's activities, you are saying pure, pure, pure. Well, because you are all Krishna's devotees or trying to be Krishna's devotees, and therefore, like, you have bias towards him, right? Someone may say that, right? Or like sometimes even if the child of someone is cannot see properly from one eye, or even if that person doesn't look very beautiful, in the eyes of mother, that person is like Padmalochana, has lotus eye, even if that person is blind, or the person is, can only see from one eye. So that's not the bias we are talking about here. And as disciples of Srila Prabhupada are very clearly mentioning, it's not just about the beauty in the eyes of beholder. Why? Because this path requires some serious stuff. This path is not, oh, Krishna is enjoying with Radharani, also everyone is free free mixing of, relationship, there's no rules and regulation. This path required, this is a path of Bhakti Yoga. In Bhakti Yoga, there is, like strict discipline. No illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no meat, fish, eggs. Hmm. So it's serious business. Hmm. It's a very important point. And also mentioned here that upon realizing the pastimes of Lord Krishna, one becomes free from all tinges of sex desire, a state of mind that can hardly result from meditating on the material sexual affairs. So this is a kind of a litmus test also. Like for example, if we see ordinary um, man and woman, like how the classic example which is coming to my mind is Ajamil, right? Ajamil saw an ordinary prostitute and a guy embracing and kissing and whatnot. And then what happened? He developed those desires to have that lady and brought her home. So similarly, if someone watches bad movies, adulterous content on movies, what kind of thoughts and desires will they get? They will get those thoughts and desires. The material lusty thoughts will increase. But if someone, we are talking here Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, oh, Krishna is sitting with Sri Radhika and Krishna is putting flowers on Radhika's hair and getting so this content would not have been in the pages of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam if it was not for our spiritual, pure perfection to get us to the highest enlightened state. Why would Shukdev Goswami, who is a Paramhamsa, who is a Vairagya Shiromani, the topmost amongst renunciate, Parikshit Maharaj, who has renounced everything, is he come here to hear some ordinary boy and girl mundane affairs? Is Shukdev Goswami, who was renounced completely wholesale, right? Not even wearing a kopin, right? Hmm. Because he was on a Brahmabhuta, he was on a self-realized platform. Why would he bother to share some ordinary affairs? He would not, and these are not. Therefore, he is sharing the purest of all the pure love. And by meditating in the pure state, in the right state and consciousness, one's lust will vanish away. One's even tinge of lust, tinge of desire for opposite sex, bad desires will go away. Unhealthy desires will go away by meditating upon Krishna and Krishna's pastimes. And if you meditate upon ordinary boy, girls, hero, heroine, Bollywood, Hollywood, then those desires will certainly increase. Any other thoughts, comments, corrections? Okay, let's read the next two verses, 35 and 6. Anyone want to read? It's not yet read. Manjula, you want to read? Or Shiva Mataji wants to read? Yes, Manjula, yeah, Devi.
Text 35, 36. इत्येवं दर्शयन्त्यस्तश्चेरुर्गोप्यो विचेतसा यां गोपीम् अन्यत् कृष्णो विहायन्या स्त्रियो वने सा च मेने तदात्मनं वरिष्ठं सर्वयोषितां हित्वा गोपी कामयान मामसौ भजते प्रिया. Translation: As the gopis wandered about, their minds completely bewildered, they pointed out various signs of Krishna's pastimes. The particular gopi whom Krishna had led into a secluded forest when he had abandoned all the other young girls began to think herself the best of women. Quote, "My beloved has rejected all the other gopis," unquote, she thought. "Even though they are driven by Cupid himself, he has chosen to reciprocate with me alone." Purport. Previously, all the gopis had become proud of their association with Krishna and then suddenly lost his association. Only Radharani remained with him. Now she has also become proud of that association and will suffer a similar fate. The Lord arranges all this to reveal the gopis' unparalleled devotion for him, a devotion whose intensity fully manifests in moments of separation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any comments you have in this text? So in the purport, we read that why Krishna left earlier? Because he sensed some pride. And that's again, that also pride is not material here because they are pure devotees. Pure devotees cannot have pride, but to intensify the love, like Vipralamba, right, intensifies the love in separation, right? That's the highest. So here, the other girls began to think herself the best of women, right? And then she thought that even though they are driven by Cupid himself, he has chosen to reciprocate with me. So Prabhupada's disciples are mentioning here that she has also become proud of association and will suffer a similar fate, basically separation, right? So it's a similar fate. Of course, Sri Radhika or the other gopis, it is a transcendental pride. And ultimately, we know that how kind and caring that famous pastime of the jackal, how Srimati Radhika was even very kind and caring even to a jackal. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions that after describing the union aspect of Radha's conjugal rasa, now separation will be described. The word sa, cha, she also had to go through similar fate, sa, cha. Indicate that previously all the other gopis, so as we already discussed this point, the reason for this is stated by the words beginning with hitva, rejecting. Sri Radha felt like that because Sri Krishna had given up all the other gopis who had come to fulfill their kama yanaha, their desires, or who did activities to invoke their desire. In other words, the anger, purva mana. Purva Mana, that Radha previously felt towards the other gopis over their good fortune had now vanished. So, Purva Mana is also one of the many, I think, high states of love as described in the pure love. Purvamana or transcendental anger here. Man is also transcendental anger or sulkiness, we can say. Purva means pehle. The emotion. Any comments so far? I know these verses are quite esoteric, but as we just read, that if we read in the right consciousness, try to understand the right consciousness, and do our best, then they will have the right impact, and that impact is we'll be free from all the lust, anger, greed. Because this is Krishna Katha. Anything in connection to Krishna is Krishna Katha. Tato gatva vanodesham dripta keshavam abravit na parayaham chalitum nayamam yatra te manaha. As the two lovers passed through one part of the Vrindavan forest, the special gopi began feeling proud of herself. She told Lord Keshava, I cannot walk any further. Please carry me wherever you want to go. Hare Krishna. So, as we see, now she is also feeling that that transcendental, you can say proud, pride that, oh, I'm special. And she's requesting Keshava Abravit. She requested, she spoke to Krishna. Na parayaham chalitum. Now I cannot move. मैं चल नहीं पा रही ठीक. नया माम यत्र te manaha. Now you carry me wherever you go. You bring Naya. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentioned divine couple went to a attractive region of the forest, right? Uddesha. And Radha, in the mood of pride, the word used is dripta. Dripta. The word in this verse, dripta, in the transcendental, that pride, that mana, told to undo that top knot. You remember the top knot Krishna just did a few verses back, right? And in such pride, Shri Radha said, I cannot go any further, I'm tired. Krishna said, oh, lovely woman, we will have to reach another beautiful spot. And then Shri Radha says, okay, if you have to go anywhere, what's on your mind, Naya, you carry me. Naya, Mam, Yatra, wherever, Te Manaha, wherever you are wanting to go to that another beautiful spot, then carry me. Krishna said, oh, should I bring you to a flower bed inside a secluded grove up ahead where no one can enter? Or shall I take you to a flower garden to decorate you with flowers? And anticipating this question, Shri Radha said, Manaha, take me wherever your mind wants, wherever you want, in short. So as you see this Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, the Acharyas, help us to understand the deeper meaning and also the whole conversation going on in this verse. So, what's the first line telling? So, first they went to one region or one beautiful part of Vrindavan forest. And then she developed a transcendental pride and say, hey, undo that knot. I don't like what knot you put. So, that knot undo. And then she also said that I am tired, right? Na paraya. I'm tired. I can't move. Okay, so what do you want? Now I cannot walk further. You carry me. And Kṛṣṇa says, well, shall we take it to this forest or that forest? I said, okay, you carry me wherever you want. But I can't walk any further. So this is a transcendental pride here we see, or the word used is dripta. Now we will see, will Kṛṣṇa carry Śrī Radhika or Kṛṣṇa will not? That we'll see in the next session. Leave it this suspense. Where will they go? Will Kṛṣṇa carry her or not? That we will see next time. So any thoughts, comments, or questions before we pause for today? Anyone has any thoughts to share or any clarifications? I hope you are all relishing these wonderful, sweet pastimes. Any other question besides this? Okay, then we will pause here. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya eva cha patita nam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for reading
Hare
and
Krishna.
sharing this.
Hare Krishna.